what's going on with, I heard about the police being cut right now. They can't respond in time. The fire department can't be in response on time either. It takes 40 minutes for the fire department to come out to a house, and this is downtown Detroit, and it takes almost an hour and a half to actually for a woman who gets raped. An hour and 15 minutes and for a response time. What can you do as a representative of your a state representative? What can you do to change that and get response time to better, and also get your state to actually have more productivity coming back and create more jobs, and actually to have the roads fixed, because you got potholes all over the place in downtown Detroit. I have seen those pictures. It is just a mess down there. It's like a war zone. Go ahead, Angela.
It looks like Iraq in some places of Detroit, and it's a shame. Right. And I think it should be, Detroit is a perfect example of what 50 years plus of Democratic rule will give you. Mm-hmm. And what really bothers me about Detroit is that Detroit didn't go down overnight.
Right.
Several things have led to this, and many years of corruption and embezzlement from the mayor of Detroit, things like this. Right. And nothing seems to be dealt with urgently. It never seems to be an urgent matter. Now you've got people in Detroit refusing to pay their water bill because they feel that water is a right, that they have a right to it. Right. And I have heard that, the ambulance and the response times are very, very long. Yeah. And I'm not sure what exactly the reason of that is. I don't believe they're underfunded. I mean, I would have to definitely learn a lot about how we could improve that in the city. But there were talks before, or early on, when Detroit was going to go bankrupt, about, centralizing the city. And they would rather file bankruptcy, I guess, and they don't even have to sell any of their artwork or anything to help pay for the bankruptcy.
Well, actually,
I think that's ludicrous, because if you and I were to go bankrupt, we would be expected to get rid of our personal property and things to help dig ourselves out of the mess that we've made.
Well, here's what I found out. I talked with one reporter over in Detroit. He said that one out of 4 vehicles do not work. 1 out of 4. So one vehicle out of 4 actually works, being maintained on a regular basis. And so the mechanics are being cut back to maintain the vehicle because of Obamacare. Number one. Number two, also another thing that's going on is for operators who are actually doing phone calls, 911 phone calls to the dispatchers, they're being cut too as well because of Obamacare. I found that out by talking to a reporter over in Detroit, and he actually said this off the record. He told me this. I don't want to reveal his name. I don't want to get a guy in trouble, because this guy's already been attacked already. His broadcasting office has already been audited by the IRS already. He's one of the broadcasters. Actually was directly a target from the IRS, and now they lost everything he turned in 4 different times. They lost every single of his tax returns. Every single time he submitted his tax return, the IRS has admitted they lost it, or they couldn't find it, or they misplaced it. 4 different times. This is 4 different times. This is for a national local broadcast channel you guys have down there. Commercial channel. This is ludicrous. I don't know my country anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. I know, the situation of Detroit is very hard, because I know there's a lot of people there that are stuck. Yeah. And I feel for the people that are victims of the corruption that Detroit has put them all through. Mm-hmm. And I would love to, if people want to get out of Detroit and move, I would oppose some sort of help to get them out of the Detroit area and get them into different neighboring cities. And I really don't know what the answer is. I would have to talk to the people of Detroit, because, like I said before, too many elected officials think they know everything and are experts in every field.
Right.
I'm not an expert on what's happening in Detroit. I know some of the things that have led to Detroit and what's going on. I don't agree with the whole state of Michigan, us, the taxpayers, bailing out Detroit. But I would like to get into Detroit after I'm elected and see what we can do to better the community. And by better the community, I do not mean throw more money at it.
Right.
Let's figure out a way to empower the people. And definitely, the crime needs to be dealt with in Detroit. The crime usually skyrockets in the communities that have the highest poverty.
Right.
You know, there's so many different things to deal with Detroit, and I don't have the answers. I don't. And I'm so blessed that I live in a small village, and we're a very, very good community where I live. And I thank God every day that I was, born in the U.S. and that I was born in Michigan, because it's a wonderful state. It's a beautiful state. We have the Great Lakes. We have so much in Michigan. So many beautiful natural resources. And I hate to see things being brought down by corruption. And it's sad. We need to get a grip on it. And they should have got a grip on Detroit long ago. And when the auto, when the auto needed a bailout and everything, that's when everything really went bad.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. It's honestly a shame. I'm not mad at the people of Detroit that,
our government did this. Our own government did this to the people. Our own government did this to Detroit. Our own government did this. Don't blame Detroit directly. No, it's the people who are part of the establishment who actually create the problem in the first place. With what they said, a great example, automobile bailout. Ever since then, it just kept on going down this poverty level, and that's why you're seeing parts of Detroit looking like Iraq, and that's what I see too. I mean, the roads are a disaster over there in Detroit, Michigan. They are just awful. I mean, it's just I haven't seen anything like that in my life. I haven't.
It's bad, and we go to see the Detroit Tigers play every summer, and we like to go to a night game, and you drive into Detroit, and some buildings are just tiles and bricks at this point.
Right.
But when you drive out at dark, it's not a place where you want to be walking down the street, that's for sure.
No.
And then you get into Comerica Park, and it's beautiful there. It's very beautiful on that side of Detroit, but the areas affected the hardest are they're deserted. They're absolutely deserted, and it's sad. It's really sad to me what's going on, because that's the Motor City.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it come back, and hopefully they can rebuild it. And I just, it's a tough situation in Detroit, and I don't agree with Payne for everything that they've done. Our pockets, the middle class, because we're trying to bail ourselves out of what we're going through. I can't take any more bailouts coming out of my check.
Right.
So it's just, it is sad. But there's little cities like Detroit all over the nation. And when you have politicians making decisions for you, you tend to do two different things. You tend to just let them, or you tend to fight against it. And I think too many people in Detroit just let things happen.
Right.
They just have enough good people standing up, because not enough people stood up, probably because they felt that what they had to say would make a difference anyway. So we really need to change that attitude throughout the nation, because we can't let the government to continue the path that has put America on. And without standing up and speaking against it, we're permitting it.
Right.
We're permitting the corruption. We're permitting the scandals to go on. And it's unbelievable the amount of scandals at the federal level. Just one after another, after another, after another.
Right.
And even as a candidate here, I've learned a lot about, the corruption and the different things that go on. Because I had an interview for an endorsement. And one of the questions for the endorsement was, what would you do to help illegal immigrants?